Middlesex's 100% winning start to the season continued as they began their Clydesdale Bank 40 campaign with a 24-run win over Worcestershire. Neil Dexter won the toss at New Road and batted, with openers David Milan and Scott Newman keen to get on with it. 20 runs had come off the first 3 overs, but then Milan threw his bat at a wide delivery from Richard Jones, and Vikram Solanki held on to a tough chance above his head. The Panthers had made 5 changes to the team which had chased down 328 to beat Derbyshire in the Championship, including Paul Stirling, the Irishman who made a World Cup 100 in 70 balls against the Netherlands. Stirling began this innings very promisingly too. Having to adjust to the one-day game, Middlesex's start was a good one, with Newman also finding the boundary early as a total rattled along to 61 in the 10th over. Stirling had made 21 at a runner ball and looked the part until he sliced a drive off Jack Chantry and was caught at backward point by Gareth Andrew. Things slowed down a bit after that dismissal on a wicket which offered all of the bowlers some assistance, and after Newman was out for 34 at 85 for 3, Dexter led a recovery. There was only 1-6 in the innings and indeed the match, and the informed Gareth Berg got it, firmly hitting Shaikh Chowdhury over long on. With these two going well, Middlesex looked capable of setting an imposing score, but the Worcestershire spinners changed that. Berg was bowled by Moeen Ali for 31 to end a stand of 72. And Dexter on 48 followed at the start of the next over, hauling out to James Cameron off Chowdhury. Tom Scully had a let-off when he slipped at the non-striker's end, but Ollie Rayner was not so fortunate when he failed to get the distance on this shot off Chowdhury. The Panthers were losing their way, and when Scully was completely foxed by Daryl Mitchell's slower ball and bowled, they'd slipped from 157 for 3 to 181 for 7 in 6 overs. 5 overs still remained though, and Ben Scott tried to make the most of them as he made 17 down the order. But Middlesex still couldn't use up all of their overs as Andrew finished off the innings. South Australian Stephen Crook, formerly of Northampton, Lancashire, top-edged a pull. Scott chipped to long on where Moeen took a fine catch. And Toby Rowland-Jones was bowled first ball. Middlesex had been dismissed with 2 balls of their innings to spare for 206, and 7 wickets had fallen for 49 runs in 67 deliveries. With a much changed bowling lineup from their championship team, Middlesex now had it all to do, especially when Moeen and Solanki got Worcestershire off to a really excellent start. The former was timing his shots well off the new ball, while Solanki was near his free-flowing best, striking the ball over the top on a number of occasions. Things could hardly have gone much better for the home side, as this pair opened up with a stand of 78 in 12.5 overs. Middlesex were desperate for a breakthrough, and Rayner supplied it as Moeen drove him to Scully to depart for 26. Solanki's wicket was already the key one, but before Middlesex could get it, he eased to a half-century off 51 deliveries on his way to a score of 61. Rayner's slightly quicker ball did for him though, leg before, but Worcestershire was still handily placed on 97 for 2 at the end of 17. In the Championship, Worcestershire have lost their opening 2 matches from good positions, and so Dexter and co still knew they were in this game, especially when Dutchman Alexei Kavesi was leg before to Rowland-Jones for 3, and Mitchell edged the same bowler behind for 1. Rowland-Jones thought he'd picked up a 3rd quick wicket, but this vociferous appeal for a catch at the wicket came to nothing. A tense finish was on the cards, with Worcestershire needing 74 off the last 12.5 overs, but Berg, who's begun the summer so brightly, fooled Andrew to dismiss him for 22. Then in his next over he had Neil Pinner leg before for 4, and he made it 3 wickets in successive overs when he also trapped Chowdhury in front for 3. The home side had, thanks largely to Berg, hit a brick wall, and he ensured that he ended up with his best figures in one-day cricket when he bowled Ben Cox to finish with 4 for 24. Those wickets had put Worcestershire well behind in the game, and the writing was on the wall for them as Jones sent a delivery from Murtagh high into the sky, Newman eventually clinging on. Just to emphasise how disciplined Middlesex's attack had been, this fluky 4 for Cameron was the first Worcestershire had scored since the 15th over. Cameron made 41 to try to keep his side in it, but Tim Murtagh finished the match off by yorking him for his second wicket. Worcestershire had been blown away for 182. It was another prime performance for Middlesex, who won their CB40 opener by 24 runs, and that will give them even more confidence going into their championship match with rival Surrey at Lords starting on Wednesday. They are already looking a strong unit.